Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be going over basic structure of the Redux. Just a small brief intro. I already have a create React app created. I'm going to install here npm I Redux and React dash Redux. Okay, I have these open. Let me just cd into the folder and see if I can npm start to run the project. Okay, it's up and running as usual. The React logo and the CSS. Here I'm gonna create a components folder and then create a component called inner.js. I have installed a shortcut to creating functional components in React, RFCE. Okay, I have a inner function created here, and then I'm just gonna log something out just to see our components working. Hello from inner. Let me go ahead and plug it into the app.js, and then it should auto import it for us. Hello from inner, so it's working perfect. Let's proceed. Okay, inside my app.js, I'm gonna create a reduce the function reducer, and then I'm gonna pass in the state and the action to it. Typically, it's going to be a switch case. And the action.type. Okay, case one would be something like login, and then case two would be logout. And then there will also be a default case. So on the login case, we will grab the initial state and get the user. This will come from the we'll grab the user from the this will come from the action.user. Currently it's getting a typo. I'm gonna have to put these in a return statement. I believe I have the syntax. incorrect. Oh, should be a return statement right between line 9 and 10. Okay, there you go. It's perfect. Okay, our app is still running. Action.user. And then the second case will be log out. This will be just would also grab the state. Actually, this will return the initial state, and then we would just say user null. There's a typo somewhere. Maybe right after case. We got 2 colons. Perfect. Okay, it's still working. Okay, now we're gonna have a third case, which is a default. We're just gonna return the state. This default. Okay, let's. Okay, here I'm gonna import create store from Redux. So I'm gonna create a store where the global state will be held. Create from Redux. Sorry, Redux. Okay. So I'm gonna create a const store equals create store. I'm gonna pass in the reducer function we just created. And then we'll come back to it. We're gonna initialize the initial state. User will be now when the app is loading. Original state will be now when the app loads. And also we're gonna pass in the initial state into the store. This is just gonna be the global state of our application. It will kind of know when the user's logged in and logged out, or user logged in or not. And then we're gonna import a provider. This provider from React Redux. Our application will be inside the provider. So we're going to wrap it around our app inside the provider. Okay, and then we're going to put our app inside the provider. We need to wrap this so we can pass in the global state to our app, and then any components within our app can request items from the store. So everything will have access to the store. Okay, here also I'm gonna pass in a props store equal store. I'm gonna pass in the store as a props, which is the store we just created on line 32. So we're gonna pass that as a props. That should be working. Let's see why the code is now running. Okay, it's working. Before that, we're gonna import connect from Redux, React Redux, /Redux, and then we're gonna pass in. So we're gonna do it connect as a function, and then default connect as a function, and then call the inner function. This allows us to connect the global store to our component, to our inner function. Okay, we'll call the connect function. Then, okay, I believe the syntax is incorrect. Let me just double check. Make sure I'm calling it correctly. Okay, I'm gonna create a map state to props function. Here I'm gonna pass in the state. This will take the current global state and return an object. Return back an object. With a piece of state in. So we just interested in grabbing this user's current state, if they're logged in or logged out, and having access inside this inner component. So we're gonna pass in the user in the inner function, and then we're gonna just gonna create a if statement. If the user is logged in, if the user's we're just gonna console. We're just gonna put it on the DOM, put it on create some basic HTML in a div to see the user's logged in. The user's name is user.name, user.email, and then if not, if the user's not logged in, we're just gonna send the user back to login page. Okay, button. there will be a button to log out, and then if the user is not logged in, else it will be a button to go in and log in to the application. Here we're just going to return the, if we don't have a user logged in, we're just going to create a button to return a credit so that the user can log in. Just going to put it in put the button inside the return statement. So this will be the default case in case the user is not logged in, which will be the like I said, the default state in most of the time in our application. Just gonna be a button redirecting the user to log in. I think I'm putting the I have the button outside the return statement. It should be inside the return statement. Just a button to have the user log in. Okay. Yeah, currently we don't have any users logged in, so this is the page that will load. This is the button we'll get once the page loads on our application. Let's keep going. I'm gonna create a handle click function to log in the user. I'm just gonna call it handle login. Here I'm gonna use dispatch. It's gonna be object. It's gonna be type login. Normally we keep it uppercase, and then the user would come in from the action.type. I'm sorry, it would be just the user. This is just gonna be the user we're hard coding in. Just gonna give it a name and an email. John Smith, jsmith at gmail.com. Missing a comma. Okay. And then I'm gonna connect the click function. Handle login here. I should take that error away. We just refresh. Dispatch. Oh, I'm gonna have to import. Pull in dispatch. Here also, there I have a user logged in. I'm automatically logging in the user. I currently don't have the logout connected. If you open up the Redux developer dev tools, it should show you the state. Not sure why it's not loading the Redux dev tools. Okay. That's the user's information. Let's do a function for logout, handle logout. It's going to be the same with the dispatch event. Dispatch. And this one's just going to be type logout. And the user is going to be null. Or we can use the so I have to connect that to the handle logout to the button. Click button logout. Click. Out. There you go. Okay, it's logging in the user and logging out the user. That's basically a quick demo of the Redux architecture under 30 minutes. Once we have the user logged in, we can use that state to push into a different components using the dispatch. We can pull that user object, the logged in user, and access their data and display and provide display data in our app. Let's see if I can clean up the code. So we can comment this out and bring it back to as how it was before. Just export default inner. Let's comment this function out and then see if we can use hooks. Export default inner. Use dispatch. Pull in use dispatch from Redux and use selector. So we're gonna clean this up and use create a variable const dispatch, and then it's going to be equal to use dispatch, invoking the use dispatch function. Same thing with the create a const variable for the user. Just going to equal use selector function. Okay. And we have to pass in the state. it's going to be a callback function state. It's an arrow function state dot, and then I'm going to bring in the big arrow and state dot user. See if I have my code correct. It's a shorter syntax using a use selector. Cleaner code. It's not like boilerplate. Code should work the same. Let's see if we can refresh. See if I'm missing something. Invalid hook call. Okay, invalid hook call. Okay, I have in line 41. I have the export default inner. I have the parentheses, so just remove the parentheses and should be back to normal. There you go. Log in, log out. Functionality is working perfect. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day. This is the Redux documentation in GitHub. Pretty useful documentation. Always read up on the documentation, and you can see examples and working sample code. Still working the same way. Only with hooks is cleaner code, cleaner and not so out of the box code. It's more friendly looking code. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.